Quick update, everyone. Our apologies for the delayed start. We are waiting on a fourth council member to be able to have our quorum. So hopefully they'll be showing up here shortly. All right. Good morning, everyone. So we are still waiting on a fourth to have quorum, but we are allowed to go ahead and do the public comment section of our agenda. We do have a public hearing that is during our regular meeting. So some people may have signed up for the public hearing, or they signed up to do our normal public, the public comment section. So I'm going to start with by saying your name and just figuring out if you wanted to speak towards the West Side Reservoir Park renaming, or if you wanted to just speak for our regular comment section. So first we have Miss Cecilia Houston Torrance. Were you here to speak towards the West Side Park? And actually, we've got quorum now, so we are going to go ahead and get started officially with our agenda. So, welcome everyone. I'm Jason Winston, Chair of the Community Development Human Services Committee, and today is our Tuesday, November the 26th, regular scheduled meeting at the 11 a.m. time and not our normal 1:30. I officially am being joined by, to my far left, Councilmember Michael Julian Bond, Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, and Councilmember Jason Dozier. With that, I call this meeting to order, and I will move to adopt the agenda. Second. I have a second by Councilmember Dozier.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Next, I'll move to adopt the minutes from our previous committee meeting. Second.
Oh, the vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Now it takes us to the public comment section of our agenda. And as I was previously stating, we do also have a public hearing. So some people may have saw the sign-in sheet and signed up for either one or the other. So we'll start with Ms. Cecilia Houston Torrance. Were you speaking toward West Side Reservoir Park? Okay, so we're going to keep going. Ms. Sue Ross. Okay. Ms. Henry Jordan. And you'll have 3 minutes, and I'll gently remind you when we're at the 30-second mark. Thank you.
Give now to the Spirit of God to everyone that's here. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. James 2nd chapter 19 verse. The reference to faith, one God, probably alludes to Israel's great creedal statement of Deuteronomy 6 chapter 4 verse. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. If the devil believe and tremble, what about you, James Swift and others? And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. Deuteronomy 12, chapter 3rd verse. Utterly destroyed. The land must be cleansed from all idolatry, so it can be holy to the Lord. But he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. St. John's 10 chapter 12 verse. A hireling, a servant for pay, will flee in time of personal danger, because he is working for money, and neither owns nor loves the sheep. You trust my flesh, but the work was done by the Spirit of Christ. I can't work your job. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. St. John 10 and 10. The gift Jesus gave me, you have sought to steal, to kill, and destroy it. The gift will not operate on your job because Christ will not let it work. God have more for you than you have for yourselves. Your plan will promote death, and Christ's plan promote life. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. St. John 8:32. They will not be sinless, but blameless, free from the power of sin. I must choose to give glory for what Jesus has done in me, and not give it to you, to your flesh or my flesh. I can't boast about what Christ done and giving myself the glory. The glory is meant for Christ. What Christ has for you is life. The devil have assigned death and trusting in your flesh, because I can't trust in my flesh. I have to trust in what Christ can do. And Christ have more for us than we have for ourselves, because I do have dreams and visions, and I have a vision that the people was in a big bubble. They couldn't enjoy the trees of the land or the atmosphere. The Lord said the answers in the homelessness calling on Jesus Christ has a business plan to deliver the people out of that situation. And because he created the money for it, but I trusted in somebody I shouldn't have trusted in, that said they believe in God, but not like me.
Thank you. Our next speaker is David Hamilton. Okay, got it. All right. So that concludes the public comment section of our agenda. We did have a presentation that was scheduled for the Fort McPherson LRA annual report, but we will need to reschedule that. So we will move on to item number G, which is on our agenda, requires a public hearing. So I will move to open the public hearing.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. The public hearing is open. The caption for number 1 is 24-0-1622, an ordinance by council members Dustin Hillis, Andrea L. Boone, Marcy Collier Overstreet, Matt Westmoreland, Jason Dozier, Byron D. Amos, Amir Faroki, Jason Winston, Mary Norwood, Alex Wan, and Howard Shook to rename Westside Reservoir Park to Shirley Clark Franklin Park to waive certain provisions of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances and for other purposes.
Thank you. I know we had Commissioner Voss potentially here to speak to us, but I'll go Councilmember Bond.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name was inadvertently left off, so I'd like the motion to add my name.
Second. Second by Councilmember Westmoreland. If you can please open the vote.
Right. This is a public hearing, so we can't take action right at this moment.
Okay,
we
so
can
we'll
do
do
it
it
after closing the public hearing.
Okay. So at this time, we'll take comments for those that signed up. So we'll start with Ms. Cecilia Houston Torrance.
Good morning, Chairman Winston and all esteemed members of the Community Development Human Service Committee. It is my honor and privilege to speak to you this morning about renaming the Westside Park. I am Cecilia Houston Torrance, a member of the commission. I was appointed by Sheris Johnson, president of the League of Women Voters of Atlanta Fulton County. The commission, comprised of 16 community leaders, held meetings, had a public hearing, and solicited suggestions from all citizens of this great city, because we know and value the importance of public buy-in. And there were many, many great responses. The top 2 responses were renaming Central Avenue to Shirley Clark Franklin Boulevard and renaming the Westside Park to Shirley Clark Franklin Park. As you all know, Shirley has been a public servant and a community organizer most of her life. As the first African-American woman mayor of a large city, she exemplifies what a true role model is. Shirley had the foresight to purchase the former Bellwood Quarry property where the Westside Park is now located. If you have not been there, I encourage you to take the time to go there and see the massive 200-acre park, the largest in our city. It is a park that I frequent with my grandchildren. They absolutely love it, and it is the home of a 350-foot deep reservoir housing 2.4 billion gallons of emergency water reserves. Without the foresight of Shirley Clark Franklin, the largest green space in the city of Atlanta would not have been possible. It will be a fantastic way of honoring this living legend while she is still here to smell these flowers. I encourage each of you to support this ordinance. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And our next speaker is Sue Ross. Welcome.
Good morning to the members of the Community Development and Human Resources Committee. I'm pleased to be back here at City Hall to speak to the renaming of Westside Park for a civil servant, a city servant leader who has served at the City of Atlanta probably longer than many people. Shirley Clark Franklin served as Commissioner of Cultural Affairs under Mayor Maynard Jackson, as Chief Administrative Officer under Mayor Andrew Young. She came back and was part of the leadership team for Mayor Maynard Jackson's third term. She went on for the Corporation for Olympic CODA, to lead CODA, and then went into the committee for the Olympic Games. She has served this city in so many capacities. I think I forgot to say she was mayor for 2 terms. Yeah. I forgot that. Sorry. That came next, yeah. Anyway, and she continues to serve. She just recently took 2 buses of Atlanta students, 3 buses of APS students down to FAMU. She's taking, all with privately raised money, to take Atlanta Public School students to see college opportunities. As a matter of fact, I know one young man in particular, who had been admitted to Morehouse, but he didn't think he had the money to go to school, and he didn't think he was able to go to school because his family had modest circumstances. But after seeing students on a college campus, it inspired him, and he actually got a major scholarship, which is paying for his schooling will pay for his schooling at Morehouse this next year coming up. So again, Shirley Franklin is a servant leader. I served under her in many capacities, the last one at Watershed, so we are very pleased at Watershed that the mayor had the foresight to purchase Bellwood Quarry and to make possible West Side Park. And so we also hope that it will be a place where her story can be told and the story of other women leaders in this city can be told. There's room along the trails for historic markers and for ways of recognizing women who have not been recognized fully in the city of Atlanta yet. We have a couple of honors, but not enough. It's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well. So that was the last speaker we had signed up. I will ask council members if they have any questions. Deputy Commissioner from DPR, Rachel Marr, is here if you do. We have a motion to close the public hearing. There's a second.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. The public hearing is closed.
Thank you. And then there, Councilmember Bond, would you like to make your motion?
Oh, okay. Yes, and then add Councilperson Liliana Bakhtiari also.
Okay. So we got a motion to amend to add the names of Councilmembers Bond and Bakhtiari to the legislation, and it's been properly seconded by Councilmember Westmore.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. The paper is amended.
All right, and colleagues, this paper needs to be reviewed by the NPU, so I'll make a motion to hold. Second by Councilmember Dozier, if you can please open the vote.
Vote is open. The vote is closed. The paper is held.
Thank you. This takes us to H, communications on our agenda.
Items number 2 and number 3 are appointment communications, and neither could be here today. Could we take those as a block?
Please proceed.
Number 2, 24C 5139, a communication from Council President Doug Shipman appointing Mr. Larry Riley to serve as a member of the City of Atlanta Reparation Study Commission. And item number 3, 24C5140, a communication from Council President Doug Shipman appointing Ms. Cheryl Venable to serve as a member of the Midtown Community Improvement District Board of Directors. This appointment is for a term of 4 years.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to hold. A second by Westmoreland. Can you please open the vote?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. Those are held. Item number 4 is 24C5141, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Dr. Alan Ferguson to serve as a member of the Housing Commission. This appointment is for a term of 3 years.
Thank you. And I see Dr. Ferguson is in the audience. We'll ask you to come to the podium. I know many of us are familiar with you. We got a motion on the floor, but do you mind just telling us, viewing audience, a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in this position?
Yes. Thank you, council member, and thank you for considering me for this appointment. So I am Dr. Alan Ferguson. I currently serve as the Chief Housing and Real Estate Officer for Atlanta Housing, and I'm very much so, interested and dedicated to serving in this role and capacity because I really built my whole entire career and really my personal and professional life around being committed to serving others, and particularly in the world and the realm of community development and affordable housing. There are issues that are near and dear to me. I'm part of my upbringing, here in Metro Atlanta. I grew up in South DeKalb, and I, currently a resident of the city, and I live over on the east side of Atlanta. And I've witnessed the changes and experienced the changes firsthand that we're all experiencing in our city. So I know that affordability and creating a place and a space for everyone to live and thrive within the city is extremely important, especially during these times and in the years ahead for the city. And I think that Atlanta can continue to be a place where there's opportunity and prosperity for all. So I'm very much so excited about serving on the Housing Commission. And if you have any questions for me, I'm more than happy.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from colleagues? Got a motion to approve by Councilmember Westmoreland. Got a second from Councilmember Dozier. If you could please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you, Dr. Ferguson. Congratulations, and thank you for your continued service to the city.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Next, if we could go to item number 31, there's an appointment in the held section. The appointee is here. It's 24C5137, a communication from Elizabeth Coyle, Chair of the Beltline Network, Inc., submitting the appointment of Mr. David Hamilton to serve on the Atlanta Beltline Tax Allocation District Advisory Committee. This appointment is for a term of 2 years.
Thank you. Mr. Hamilton, if you don't mind stepping to the podium and just telling us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in this position. And feel free to move that mic up. There you go.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, my name's David Hamilton. I have been a resident of the city of Atlanta since I graduated from college in 1982, a long time ago, resident of Inman Park. And since that time, I have been on many committees, many boards. I believe in the city of Atlanta. I believe passionately in the power of good design and architecture to change the city and make a great place for us all to live. So that is the reason that I have served on the Beltline Design Review Committee for the last 7 years, and wish to continue to serve the Beltline by being a member of the TADAC committee.
Got a motion to approve by Councilman Westmoreland, a second by Councilmember Dozier. If you could please open the vote.
The vote is open. And the vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays.
Congratulations, and thank you for your service to the city.
Thank you very much.
There are two ordinances for first reading. Item number 5, 24O1680, an ordinance by Community Development and Human Services Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee or the chief procurement officer or his designee on behalf of the city of Atlanta to acquire from the Conservation Fund one parcel comprising approximately 0.1722 acres of real property and having the following street address: 80 Thurkield Avenue, and the Fulton County parcel ID listed here, for the expansion of Kempson Park at the total purchase price not to exceed $113,100 $39.80, authorizing the mayor or his designee or the chief procurement officer or his designee on behalf of the city to execute all documents necessary to acquire the property, authorizing acquisition, due diligence, closing costs, signage, demolition, site stabilization, and other site development costs to be paid from the Park Impact Fee South account, amending the 2025 General Government Capital Outlay Fund budgets in the Department of Parks and Recreation and Department of Finance Parks South Service District by transferring to and from the various accounts listed herein, waiving Section 2-1541D of Article 10 of the Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City Code of Ordinances and for other purposes. Item number 6 is 24-01681, an ordinance by Community Development and Human Services Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a contract renewal for the contract listed here, advocacy and fundraising services with Park Pride, Inc. for a term of 2 years commencing on February 7, 2025 through February 6, 2027, and to pay $90,000.00 annually for the purpose of continuing the support and of coordination of community engagement, volunteer support services, fundraising services, and other services, including administration, planning, design, and construction management services for city parks and coordination of various park programs and events, collectively the base services, on behalf of the Department of Parks and Recreation to authorize an amendment to the executed agreement to increase the donation amount in an amount not to exceed $10 million and 0 cents annually, all expenses to be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. That would take us to Section J of the agenda, ordinances for second reading. And items number 7 and 8 could be taken as a block if they could.
Please proceed.
Number 7 is 24-01605, CDP 2426, an ordinance by Community Development and Human Services Committee to amend the land use element of the 2021 Atlanta Comprehensive Development Plan so as to redesignate property located at 3520 North Camp Creek Parkway Southwest from the open space land use designation to the low-density residential land use designation and for other purposes. And item number 8 is 24-01606, CDP 2428, an ordinance by Community Development Human Services Committee to amend the land use element of the 2021 Atlanta Comprehensive Development Plan so as to redesignate property located at 582 Hope Street Southwest from the single-family residential land use designation to the low-density land use designation and for other purposes. Both items should be held.
I'll make a motion to hold. And second by Dozier. If you could please open the vote.
Vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. Item number 9, 24-01637, CDP 2427, an ordinance by Community Development Human Services Committee to adopt the Atlanta Beltline Subarea 6 Master Plan, the Atlanta Beltline Subarea 6 Master Plan update to amend the 2021 Plan A Comprehensive Development Plan by incorporating by reference said plan and for other purposes. There's an amendment in your packet to attach the final subarea master plan.
I'll make a motion to amend. Second by Councilmember Dozier. If you can please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you. Colleagues, we have representatives from the Atlanta Beltline Inc. If you have any questions about this CDP item. Got a motion to approve as amended by Councilmember Westmoreland, second by Councilmember Dozier. If you can please open the vote.
The vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. The item is approved. Okay, item number 10, 24-01651, an ordinance by Community Development Human Services Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the Fourth Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Atlanta and Piedmont Park Conservancy with respect to increasing sanitation, lawn, and security service reimbursements to Piedmont Park Conservancy on behalf of the Department of Parks and Recreation and for other purposes.
Thank you. Deputy Commissioner Meyer.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Marr. I'm the Deputy Commissioner of Partnerships and Enterprise in the Department of Parks and Recreation. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of Council. This amendment to the Piedmont Park Conservancy's MOU aligns reimbursements owed to the Conservancy with market rate costs for the services provided. To better leverage resources and coordination of needs within the park, certain responsibilities of the department, including security, janitorial services, and the lawn maintenance of the Meadow, Oak Hill, and the Piedmont Avenue front lawn, were given over to the Conservancy for implementation, for which they'd be reimbursed at cost. These costs for services have increased over time, and now we are increasing the allowable reimbursements to meet the department's commitment, not only to the Conservancy, but to the upkeep of Piedmont Park. Happy to answer any questions.
A motion to approve by Councilmember Westmoreland, second by Councilmember Dozier. If you can please open it up, the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. Item number 11 is 24-01659, an ordinance by an ordinance by Council Member Dustin Hillis authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to execute a ground lease agreement with the Partners for Home for property located at Reservoir Drive and 653 Green Street Northwest for a lease term not to exceed 20 years to be used to develop quick delivery housing on public land as part of the City of Atlanta's Rapid Housing Initiative, waiving the competitive procurement provisions contained in Article 10 Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City Code of Ordinances and for other purposes.
Mr. Humphreys.
Hey everyone, Josh Humphreys, Mayor's Office. Good to see you. So I'm going to talk about the number 11 and 12 together. We are working on a second phase of a project, the Melody, that we did last year in collaboration with Councilman Dozier in his district that I think most of you, if not all of you, have been to at this point. And so we identified the next site that will move forward, have been working, we did community engagement over the last several months. This is by the water reservoir at the northwest corner of 17th and Northside Drive on kind of the eastern side of the water reservoir, if you're familiar with that area. It's an out parcel that Watershed doesn't use, but it was originally acquired for part of the water reservoir assemblage in the late 1800s. And so the two papers that are in front of you, one will authorize a lease. This is similar to the lease that we did with Partners for Home for the Melody that would allow them to move forward with construction that we believe can get started very soon. We have a license agreement already to get the work beginning over there. And then the other piece is a transfer out of Watershed's ownership into Deem's ownership. And so that was based on the original acquisition price plus inflation that allows us to be more flexible with the use of the land once it's no longer in Watershed ownership. So that's what the two pieces do. The project itself will be 100 units, so a little bit larger than the Melody, and we're going vertical this time. So the project will be 3 stories tall, over 2 buildings spread over kind of 2 split parcels that will also include some street improvements and some water infrastructure improvements in the area. This particular site will also include medical facilities for those with high acuity needs, in addition to the permanent supportive housing that's already provided. So we're really excited about this and have had broad support in the community engagement meetings we've had to date. This one, the one detail I said that's different than Melody, Melody uses shipping containers. We are using modular offsite construction this time, but the finished product will include stick construction, even though it's built in a factory. And so it'll look more like a traditional multifamily housing building than what the Melody looks like. And we're excited to see kind of what that slightly different model, similar timeline, similar ability to deliver quickly, but slightly different construction methodology looks like. So happy to answer any questions.
Councilmember Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question, Josh. The timeline for the Waterworks project, what does that look like? I know y'all are also working on 405 Cooper. I know the site and the scope and the verticalities could be very similar.
Yeah.
Just curious what that looks like from a delivery standpoint for both those projects.
Sure. So this project we think can begin construction before the end of the year because the license agreement we already have in place on it and the design work is ostensibly done. We really like the design. Happy to share it with any of you too if you want to see kind of where we're at with it. I think you saw early iteratives of it when we were in the Cooper construction or the Cooper community meetings. we think that we can use a very similar design at the Cooper site for the multifamily part of the site once we've got it dialed in. And so goal is to like get it really finalized here and then do construction drawings. It'll be easier to do if we're replicating it. So this one would start ideally before Christmas, and then sometime in Q1, we're still working through the exact date, so we would be able to begin construction.
Okay. And I just a thought, recognizing all the heartache and all the opportunities that have come out of the conversation around 405 Cooper, I wonder, since it sounds like this might be delivered before the Cooper Street site is delivered, if there's an opportunity to have community members see what product is being delivered at the Waterworks site.
Sure. I mean, construction timeline-wise, this will probably still be under construction, but we'll have something out of the ground, right? So you can see kind of early like, versions of what it looks like, and then the Cooper Street ideally would be able to start while this is mid-construction, both of them delivering kind of the middle of next year.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions, comments from colleagues? Okay, we got a motion to approve by Councilmember Westmoreland, second by Dozier. If you can please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. Item 12, there is a substitute in your packet. It's going to fill in some blank spaces containing account string information.
I'll make a motion to bring forth the substitute. Second by Dozier. Can you please open the vote?
Vote is open. And the vote is closed. The substitute caption reads, an ordinance by Councilmember Dustin Hillis as substituted by CDHS to authorize the transfer of certain surplus tracts of property owned by the City of Atlanta located on Reservoir Drive and 653 Green Street Northwest from the purview of the Department of Watershed Management to the purview of the Department of Enterprise Asset Management for the purpose of developing and operating high-quality, quick delivery, rapid housing with supportive services on site, to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to undertake an operating transfer from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund to the Water and Wastewater Renewal and Extension Fund in the amount of $85,000.00, to authorize an amendment to the FY 2025 Water and Wastewater Renewal and Extension Fund budget to anticipate the receipt of these funds and for other purposes.
Got a motion to approve as substituted by Councilmember Dozier, but second by Westmoreland. Can you please open the vote?
The vote is open. And the vote is closed. It's 4 yeas, 0 nays.
I think so.
All right, thank you.
Item number 13 is 24-0-1674, an ordinance by Councilmember Jason H. Winston ratifying the City of Atlanta's acceptance of a donation of pro bono professional services performed by Boston Consulting Group, Inc., in support of a 9-week engagement to explore the feasibility of an LGBTQ+ community center in Atlanta and for other purposes.
Chief Stansel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I'm here to just reflect that the 9-week process that we're engaged in with the Boston Consulting Group is looking at the feasibility of the LGBTQ Center. We are specifically looking at things like infrastructure, financial modeling, footprint of the square footage, et cetera. And I know that you all are aware of other work that is happening in the same space, and so we're excited to parallel process what we're doing to make sure that the LGBTQ Center can come online as we've been anticipating, hopefully with the 2030 launch. And so the Modi office is very appreciative of BCG, and this is retroactive legislation for work that will be concluding this month. And so we are grateful for the opportunity to have their expertise at the helm of this work. I'll be happy to take any questions.
A motion to approve by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. Can you please open the vote?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you.
Into Section K, resolutions. Item number 14 is 24R4520, a resolution by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone authorizing the City of Atlanta to donate a total amount not to exceed $500,000.00 payable in 2 equal installments of $250,000.00 from the fiscal year 2025 budget and the fiscal year 2026 budget to Raising Expectations, Inc., pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta Charter, to support the No Place Like Home capital campaign, to authorize the mayor or his designee to enter into a donation agreement which shall detail the actions of Raising Expectations, Inc., to provide support for the No Place Like Home capital campaign, to authorize the chief financial officer to make the donation payments from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
Good afternoon. I'm Keita Mitchell. I'm the Program Director for Youth Development and Education. And yes, this is just basically helping them support their Capital No Place Like Home campaign so they can have a building to continue doing the amazing work that they do with educational resources, providing mentoring, and so forth. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions or comments from colleagues? Okay. Now, I'll second. Oh. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. And the vote is closed. 3 yeas, no nays, 1 abstention. The item is favorable.
Apologies, Mr. Chair, for giving you a report, but I serve on the Capital Campaign Committee for this organization.
Understood. Thank you.
Item number 15 is 24R4523, a resolution by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet to expand the boundaries of the Airport West Community Improvement District as authorized by the General Assembly of the State of Georgia in the Fulton County Community Improvement District Act, to remove certain parcels from the improvement district and for other purposes. This item is missing a few exhibits, so the committee should hold.
A motion to hold by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. Can you please open the vote?
The vote is open, and the vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is held. Item 16, 24R4527, a resolution by Councilmember Matt Westmoreland authorizing the City of Atlanta to donate an amount not to exceed $1 million to Communities and Schools of Atlanta, Inc., pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta Charter to provide integrated support for K-12 students in Atlanta, authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a donation agreement which shall detail the actions of Communities and Schools of Atlanta, Inc., to provide integrated support for K-12 students, to authorize the chief financial officer or his designee to make the donation payments from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
Welcome back.
Hey, again. So yeah, Communities and Schools, they do wraparound services for at-risk students in APS. They have a huge success rate. 96% of their kids either remain in school or definitely graduate, and then they also provide more things outside of education, such as social, emotional well-being, and other resources.
Questions? Got a motion to approve. I'll second. Can you please open the vote? And that motion came from Westmoreland.
The vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. And then item number 17 is 24R4528, a resolution by council members Matt Westmoreland, Byron D. Amos, Jason Dozier, Dustin Hillis, Jason Winston, Amir Faroki, and Andrea L. Boone, requesting the Department of City Planning calculate and publish an in-lieu fee reflecting the current market for the Affordable Workforce Housing Beltline Overlay District, West Side Affordable Workforce Housing District, and West Side Park Affordable Workforce Housing District, and for other purposes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the caption states, is a kind of a public accountability tool for all of us to make sure that come June 1, as code states, we have updated the in-lieu fees for the 3 applicable areas so that we are charging current market rates for people who choose not to build affordable housing in those areas. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. If there are no other questions or comments, can you please open the vote?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. Item number 18, 24R 4529, a resolution by Councilmember Jason H. Winston authorizing the City of Atlanta to donate an amount not to exceed $1,100,000 to the Urban League of Greater Atlanta pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta Charter to support the Youth Development Grant Program, to authorize the mayor or his designee to enter into a donation agreement which shall detail the actions of Urban League of Greater Atlanta to provide youth development grants, to authorize the chief financial officer or his designee to make the donation payments from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes.
For show today.
Hi, it is. So this one is for grants. We'll be in partnership with Urban League to provide technical support and funding for grassroots organizations that support youth in the city of Atlanta. And we're basically prioritizing those that are going to have the most impact in the historically underserved neighborhoods.
A motion to approve by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. Can you please open the vote?
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you all so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
There are 2 held items on the agenda that could use committee action. The first is number 30. It is 24-0-1515 CDP 2425, an ordinance by Council Member Antonio Lewis, as substituted by Community Development and Human Services Committee to amend the land use element of the City of Atlanta 2021 Atlanta Comprehensive Development Plan so as to redesignate property located at 1029 McDaniel Street from single-family residential land use designation to mixed-use, low-density land use designation and for other purposes. There's an amendment in your packet that is going to add an updated site map.
Motion to amend by Councilmember Dozier, a second by Westmoreland. Can you please open the vote?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is amended. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. The next is item number 33 on the agenda. 24R 4426, a resolution by Community Development and Human Services Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to accept a donation from Savannah College of Art and Design to the Department of Parks and Recreation, a mural to be painted on the tennis hitting wall located at the Bitsy Grant Tennis Center, valued at approximately $3,000.00, and there's a request to file it.
Make a motion to file. Is there a second?
Vote is
open. The vote.
The vote is closed. 4 yeas and 0 nays. The item is filed. And, there is a walk-in piece of legislation that's been emailed to you, and I think you all have a copy in front of you. The ELMS ID number for this is 36985, a resolution by Community Development and Human Services Committee authorizing the City of Atlanta to donate a total amount not to exceed $1 million and 0 cents to Hope Atlanta pursuant to Section 6-306 of the City of Atlanta's Charter to support efforts to prevent displacement, homelessness, and hunger, authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into any necessary agreements to effectuate the donation, and authorize the chief financial officer or his designee to make all payments from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes. The request is to hold.
I'll make a motion to hold.
Second.
A second by Dozier. If you can please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item's held.
Thank you. That concludes the agenda items for our committee meeting today. Any parting words, comments from colleagues? Seeing Councilmember Bond.
Thanksgiving box giveaway over at Cone Park Recreation Center at 1530 Woodbine Avenue. And of course, we will include it in that box as, collard greens, all types of good vegetables. And we have about 500 turkeys to give away. First come, first served basis, no prerequisite. We begin sharply at 2 p.m. And it's a good way to kick off the holiday. And if you all want to help me give out 40-pound turkeys, 500 of them, you're welcome to come on and join us at 2 p.m. over at Cone Park.
Thank you, Councilmember Bond. Just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.